Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Teens Mind Podcast, the podcast where me, a 14-year-old kid, talks about topics he does not understand. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a dive into some of my really insane shopping habits. We're going to be talking again about the best Christmas movies and which one should you watch. And we're also going to be talking about some of my stuff, what's going on with my life, how I hate shopping, and how I love shopping, and how clothes are stupidly overpriced. If that sounds like an episode that you want to listen to, then stay around because that's what we're going to talk about. Anyways, you're watching Teens Mind. So, first thing I want to talk about, clothes. I know, stick around with me, bear with me. I think clothes are stupidly overpriced, and I know this is a subject that's been talked about before. I'm not trying to be unique here, okay? I'm trying to spit facts, because today I needed some pants. Your boy needed some pants because I recently lost a pretty good chunk of weight. I've lost like 10 pounds, but my pants don't fit anymore. The pants that I used to wear now look like I'm wearing a towel over my legs, and that's not good, because then I look like one of those thugs that has his pants down his ankles, and I don't want to look like a thug. I want to look like a regular human being. And if you want to look like a thug, that's completely okay. You go look like a thug, okay? I'm not going to judge you. If you want to look like a thug, you go look like a thug. But I don't want to look like a thug. So I went to Zara to get some pants. If you don't know, I believe you have Zara in the US, Zara. It's probably a really common store. Here, that's basically the only clothing store we have that doesn't sell complete garbage. So I went there, and I wanted to see some pants, right? And I found a nice pair of black joggers. I like joggers. Joggers are nice, okay? I wanted to get those joggers, but when I looked at the price of those joggers were like $78. And I'm like, why would I pay $78 for a piece of fabric that has a couple pockets in it? I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. And I know this is coming from the guy that spent $80 in a hoodie, okay? But it's my money. I decide what I want to do with it. And I feel like pants are the most overrated piece of clothing ever, because I mean, you can just wear jeans and your outfit's complete. You don't need nice pants. But I wanted to get some nice pants because I'm going to be doing things that require nice pants soon. So I wanted to get the nice pants, but the nice pants were really expensive. So the really expensive nice pants, I got the really expensive nice pants, and then again, I am quite the impulsive shopper, but I know many of us are. I know if you're I know many of us are really impulsive shoppers, especially around Christmas, because everything is on sale. Like in the Black Friday, I wanted to buy so much crap, but I didn't have any money in my PayPal account left because I purchased a lot of crap recently. I think I had like $50 in my PayPal account or something stupid. I'm trying to save up so I can get more equipment for this podcast. I want to get like a nice XLR microphone. I want to get the Rode Pod mic, which is a really nice XLR microphone. But so far I can't afford it, and I'm using a USB microphone, a really nice one, may I add. I bought a nice boom arm to go with it, and it's plugged into my MacBook Pro, which I also bought with some of the money I had saved up. And I also want to talk about, because a lot of people look at the setup that I have and they're like, oh dude, that's a really expensive setup, how could you afford it? And I want to talk about ways that you can make money, because I made a lot of money and I could afford the setup. The whole of the setup is probably like 1.5k. It's a pretty nice and it's pretty expensive setup, but I'm going to teach you how I got there. So first side hustle that you can do as a teenager is you can just start a podcast like I'm doing. I didn't start this podcast for money. I started it because I wanted to do something else than designing, because this is fun. I like talking to random people and using this as a venting source, because this is what it is. I just like to talk about stuff that's going on and just take my mind off of the other things in life that are really stressful. So you can start a podcast. Starting a podcast really isn't that expensive. I have a nice microphone, but you don't need a nice microphone. You can use a phone. I know plenty of people that started a podcast only using their phone, and I feel like people look over that. People think it's too hard and too stressful, and it really isn't that stressful. I mean, what I did personally is that I pre-recorded 5 episodes of the Teens Mind podcast before I even started. I pre-recorded 5 episodes so then I could post them all at once and have some content to post, because I feel like if you only post one podcast episode as a launch episode, you're probably not going to get many listeners, because it's only one episode and people can't just if someone likes your podcast, if they stick around, they don't have any content to watch if you only post one episode. That's why I posted plenty of other content. There's 5 episodes that you can go and watch right now. If you like this one, you can go watch the other ones. Please be my guest and watch them. They're pretty good episodes. And yeah, starting a podcast, really good idea. Also, do something creative. I feel like many people don't really actually take this into consideration. But if you learn a skill, that skill can be useful for years. Think about it like this. If you right now learn how to edit videos nicely, that skill can stay there forever, and you can make money off of that specific skill. If you learn how to be good at something, then that something can evolve into more jobs. For example, I learned how to design thumbnails for YouTubers on my phone, and it's paid off really nicely. I charge like $7 per thumbnail, and thumbnails take me like half an hour to make max. So we're talking more than minimum wage here, people. And this is stuff that anyone can do. If I could do it, so can you. I really wasn't the most talented individual. I never was, and it probably never will be. But this is really easy. You can learn how to do this, and there is generally a demand for thumbnail people, because there's many YouTubers right now that are starting YouTube, and they want to be able to stand out. And if you want to stand out, a thumbnail is probably the best way to do this, because if you have a nice thumbnail, that grabs the attention of the viewer. So learn how to do that. You could also learn how to do montages, edit videos, etc. All of these are skills that you'll learn once for like a 3-month period, and then you'll have for the rest of your life to make money. It's really not that hard, people. I don't see why y'all aren't doing it. You could also, if you like drawing or making digital art, I mean like drawing on an iPad or stuff like that, platforms like Redbubble are insane gold mines, people. You can post your design that you drew, like a cute design, on Redbubble and make thousands of dollars off of that one design that took you like half an hour to make. It's really an open market here, and people really aren't taking advantage of it, because once you get this foundation, then you can save up and like invest in this stuff. Like, so let's say you have a shitty computer and you want to edit videos. You can use your shitty computer and you can edit videos. Like, you're not gonna edit a movie on your crappy computer, but you might be able to edit a montage, a 2 to 4 minute montage that you charge $50 for. And then after you've done a couple montages, maybe a couple dozen, you can afford a computer. And it's something that many people look over, because I feel like many people just use the excuse, oh, I'm broke, and they don't realize that all you need is a computer and a Wi-Fi connection. Something I did that is really good is I started writing scripts for YouTube channels. So I can't disclose this, but I work for a company, and we write scripts for people. And I did this. I wrote scripts, and I write scripts for like these politics channels. I also write scripts for like YouTube gaming videos, stuff like that, basic stuff. And I get paid $10 per script, and it's based off of that I was able to even afford this setup. And it was really, really, really worth it, because now I have all this nice gear I can use to bring you guys the best quality of podcasts that you can listen to, because I want to provide quality over quantity, people. If I have a really good idea for a podcast, I'll sit down and record it right then and there. And that just goes to show I want quality. I don't want these episodes to be kind of crappy. I want to actually bring good information that can help you, like this, for example. And you don't even need a Wi-Fi connection. If you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, you can get creative. For example, I saw this dude on TikTok that what he did for money was he bought a couple numbers off of Target, like one of those numbers. He bought a number stencil, and then he grabbed a kind of spray paint, and he painted people's house number on the sidewalk. And I think that is a wonderful idea that you can do. It's really cheap and it's really easy to do. And this dude was charging $80 for them to have their house number painted on their wall. And I was like, dude, that is a really good idea, because you really don't need that much money. Probably $20 to buy all this stuff, a can of spray paint, a couple stencils. That is really easy money right there. And people need to just open and see these opportunities they have to really make good money, and then be able to afford them the things they like. If you don't, let's say you just want to have some spending money, you can do this and just get spending money. You can do this and then go and buy that nice jacket you always wanted to. Because something about making your own money is that your parents can't say anything about it. If you made your own money, your parents can say, okay, you can't buy this because it's your money. You can decide what to buy because, of course, you made that money. It's yours. They had no say, and they won't have any say. So if you listen to this and you wanted to go start and make some money, go do it. Go make some passive income that you can use on stuff that you want, because of course it's easy. I'm not gonna say it's easy money because you have to learn a skill, but it's money that you can use to really invest in your future, invest in stuff that you like, stuff for you, stuff that you care about. Instead of getting a regular 9-to-5 job, you can maybe learn some creative skills and then open a Fiverr page or become a freelance designer, stuff that doesn't require like regular schedule hours, because I know some people don't like the regular 9-to-5 jobs that are available, and that is completely fair. A lot of people don't like living on a schedule. Like I personally, I don't have a set time where I record podcasts. I just record these whenever I feel like it, and I really like that because I can just sit down and I can talk to you guys about random crap that's on my head. That's the whole Teens Mind thing. I really want you guys to be able to afford stuff that you want. And so if you really want to buy something, then do one of these things. Start a Redbubble page, start a Fiverr page. If you have a good microphone like I do, you can record voiceovers. Voiceovers pay really well. You can do a lot of stuff. Just be creative. Once you find something you're good at, you can milk that and you can make money off of that, and you can afford all the nice stuff you wanted. If you wanted a nice like Teddy Fresh hoodie, you can afford that nice Teddy Fresh hoodie. If you wanted gear to start a podcast, boom, you can afford gear to start a podcast. Anyways, that's it for this little segment on how to make money. So the next thing I want to talk about is a really cool feature that I'm adding to my podcast. It's called video messages. If you want to send a video message for me to listen to it on the podcast, the link is in my link tree. If you don't know where the link tree is, it's probably in the description of this podcast. And if it's not in the description of this podcast, then it's on YouTube or on my Instagram, the Teenagers Mind _ or on my Twitter at It's Teens Mind. Those are my two social medias, and that's where I post most of the stuff. And you can send me voice messages, which I think is really cool because I can just listen to you guys and chat to you pretty much, and it won't be direct. So if you're awkward, I am awkward too. We can be awkward together, and you can send in your voice messages, and I'll be sure to listen to them. I'm thinking of bringing guests on this show. It's going to start off with a couple of my friends that I trust, friends that I think would make amazing people for me to interview on this podcast and just talk about in general, because I'm not going to interview my friend. I already know them. You may not know them, but I know them, so I don't need to interview them. So I might bring some friends on this podcast. I might also, if I have enough courage, I might also just reach out to YouTubers and to people like that to start making content with them. I would love to interview some other podcast hosts. If you know other podcast hosts that would be interested in doing an interview with me, then just send them to me on Twitter or Instagram. If you're a podcast host and are looking for an interviewer or someone to come on your podcast, I would be more than happy to go on your podcast if you send me a message on Instagram. However, I think I might have to wait a couple minutes I may have to wait a little bit for those interviews, because right now I don't have my own office space. I do have my own office space, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi in it. So I'm working on getting Wi-Fi towards that place, so I can do more private stuff, because I bet right now you're hearing a lot of background noise. That's because I live in a really busy part of Honduras. I love my house, but it gets pretty busy around here sometimes. So yeah, if you know someone that is interested in getting interviewed, then just hit me up, send me a voice message on the new voice message feature that I just set up, which I think is a really, really, really cool feature. Or even just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll be sure to respond to it, because hey, you never know, we can become friends or something. Anything. Now, let's talk about Christmas movies, because Christmas movies I think are a staple in every single house, and if you don't watch Christmas movies, then you're weird. So I think the classic Christmas movies are probably Home Alone, but here, the one that I used to watch when I was a wee lad was the Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse Christmas set. It's not. I had it on DVD. Oh, remember the days of DVD? Yeah, remember those? I don't. So I had this DVD, and it had like a pretty wide collection of Mickey Mouse movies, but they weren't any Mickey Mouse movies. They were Christmas Mickey Mouse movies, and I think I'm gonna do that. I think I have a Disney Plus account now. I think I might go and see if those movies are on Disney Plus, because I think they are, because that's gonna bring a lot of nostalgia, because I used to watch those movies even when it wasn't Christmas, even when it wasn't even that interesting, even when it wasn't even, I love those movies. I also loved Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh was a staple in my house. We all loved Winnie the Pooh, okay? We don't discriminate against fat bears. Winnie the Pooh's awesome. And I used to watch those movies 24/7. Please let me know if you also know which movies I'm talking about, because I don't want to sound like a complete idiot. Because if I sound like a complete idiot, then I'll sound like a complete idiot. And I don't want to sound like a complete idiot, because complete idiots sound like complete idiots. So if you know I think the cover of the set was like Mickey Mouse in a wizard hat. Wait, let me see if I can look it up right now, because I don't want you guys to think I'm insane. Because even though I have done some crazy stuff and probably will continue doing some crazy stuff, that doesn't mean that you can judge me for it. I've also seen a really big amount of crappy Disney movies that I feel like I would love, because watching a good crappy Disney movie is so sick. Like, you know those movies that probably had like a $10,000 budget that have like a really corny lesson like love yourself or stuff like that. Wait, hold on, let me see if I might be able to find these. Okay, I'm gonna search Mickey Mouse. Yes, I found it, boys. It's called Mickey Mouse's Once Upon a Christmas, and it was an amazing movie. I loved it. It's heartwarming stories of the most memorable Christmases together, and it's a merry collection of movies. If you guys have watched this movie or have it on DVD, please let me know, because these movies are like the most nostalgic thing to me ever, because I used to play them all the time, and I don't think they'll ever be old. I don't think those movies will ever run out of stuff that I enjoy, because I mean, they're Mickey Mouse, for crying out loud. Whoever doesn't like a Mickey Mouse is retarded, okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. If you don't like Mickey Mouse, you're not that smart. It's what I meant. Also, I thought I should clear this up. I know I posted an episode on Friday, but that was just because I hadn't posted one on Thursday. My regular podcast schedule is going to be Thursdays and Tuesdays. So if you want to listen to a Teens Mind podcast, go on Tuesday or on Thursday for a fresh episode. I'm posting 2 episodes per week, which is pretty good for a beginning podcaster like me. I'm just trying to keep you active. I'm just trying to keep you nibbling on some content that you crave. I'm not going to be like the Joe Rogan Experience that puts out like 28 episodes a month, but I'm going to try, okay, people? I'm going to try to see if I can bring quality content to the table, because I know quality content is what people crave. So yeah, I found the movie. It's called Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. I so want to watch it now, but I'm going to wait until the end of the podcast. It's a movie from 1999. Wow, that is old. That is older than me. That is older than my brother and me combined, people. This movie is old. I was born in 2006, so yeah, this movie's pretty old. The memories of DVD. I swear, I saw this video of the guy called The Company Man. Really good YouTuber, by the way. Totally should check him out. And this guy basically just does videos about companies and like why are they successful and why are they doing really badly, if that's the case. And he has a really good video on this company, which is I forgot which company it was talking about. He has this really good video about... Wait, no way, I just forgot what I was talking about. Company Man has a really good video about... DVDs. Yes, I got it. So he had a really good video about DVDs and like their battle with Blu-ray, because DVD, which is a company owned by Toshiba, they released a competing product to the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray was really popular back then. Blu-ray is basically just a higher definition DVD, but to compete with it, Toshiba released the HD DVD, which is like it's in the name, it's an HD version of the DVD. It's just a DVD but a better resolution, people. I mean, get it through your thick skulls. It's really not that complicated. But this video was really good because it actually went in depth and it was really entertaining. If you want some good videos about business and some good videos about why companies did good, and they have a video on every single company, I swear. So if you like they have one on Krispy Kreme, they have one on Starbucks, they have one on Dunkin' Donuts, and just me, that only till recently noticed that Dunkin' Donuts changed their name from Dunkin' Donuts to Dunkin'. Dunkin' Donuts isn't called Dunkin' Donuts anymore. Dunkin' Donuts is now called Dunkin'. What? I mean, I know what they did. They wanted to focus more on the coffee aspect than on the donuts, because let's face it, Dunkin' Donuts aren't that good. If you want to get a good donut, you're not going to Dunkin' Donuts. You're going to Dunkin' Donuts because you want a donut, not because you want a good donut. Because if you wanted a good donut, you would make it at home. I know many people don't have the patience to make a donut at home, but okay, don't blame me then. So Dunkin' Donuts, they changed their name to Dunkin', and I feel like that's pretty insane. That's pretty weird, because Dunkin' doesn't make sense. Dunkin' is a verb. Why would you change your company to a verb? Doesn't make sense to you, because it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I feel like it was like if I named a company Run. Hi, I'm Run, and I'm the CEO of Run. If you want to run, come to Run, and in Run, we'll run together. That sounds so stupid. But then again, Americans. Dunkin's slogan is America runs on Dunkin'. And so I guess it wasn't that wrong. I feel like, it is a pretty big change, because I went to get a coffee today, and I was feeling a little bit, I had a little bit of a sweet tooth, because usually what I do when I go to a coffee shop, I order an iced latte without sugar and without any flavor, because usually they ask caramel or vanilla, and usually I just don't pick any. I just say, can you please give it to me with no flavoring, because I like the taste of bitter coffee. But this time I had a little bit of a sweet tooth, so I said, hey, can you give me a Dunkin' iced Dunkin' latte with caramel, please? And they said, yeah, sure, totally. And what I forgot is that they put whipped cream on these things. So here it is, this 500 calorie drink. On top of that with whipped cream, and on top of the whipped cream there was caramel sauce. I drank it all, of course, because when your boy is craving something, your boy's gonna eat it. I feel like that's a really big issue I have right now, is that if I crave something, it's really hard to stop the temptation of just going and eating it. I know I have to, because it's really unhealthy. Like that Dunkin' drink, wait, let me look how many calories it has. It's something retarded, because everything made in America is really calorie full. Dunkin', iced Dunkin' caramel latte calories. It has, okay. Okay, here it is. It has 180 calories. Wow, that is okay. It's not that bad actually. Wait, iced caramel latte. Here we go. Okay, it has 260. That's more like it. Cause I feel like, okay, every time I go to America, I gain like 80 pounds. When I come back, I feel like a pig, because everything they serve you in the U.S. is fat filled to the friggin', hold up, that's the doorbell. I have to ring it. It's probably a homeless dude asking for money, because here in Honduras, they can't beg on the street. They come to your house and knock on your damn door. Let me go check who it is real quick. Okay, turns out it wasn't a homeless person asking for money. It was my mom. Go figure. So, it wasn't a home. I feel like that needs a little bit more explanation, because I sound really weird if I assume that there's a homeless person asking for money. But let me explain to you. So here in Honduras, we have this phenomenon, right? It's called being poor. So, what happens when a country is really poor? Well, what happens when a country is really poor? You have a lot of homeless people, and these homeless people can't buy houses, hence the name homeless people. So, what do you do when you're homeless? In the U.S., they usually hold up, because I've gone to the U.S. But no, here in Honduras, it doesn't work. No one's gonna give them money if they just stand on the street. So what they do is that they go to neighbors. So I live in a decent neighborhood. I live in it's probably like middle class here. I live in a middle class neighborhood, right? And these homeless people, instead of begging on the street, they come to your house and they ring the doorbell. And they ring it over and 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 over again until you decide to give them money or food. So, and I find this really annoying because, first of all, it's complete douche move to ring someone's doorbell 7 times. Like, please, I don't care. Just ring once, please. If you ring once, that's plenty. If you ring once, you will get acknowledged. And people will come and they will check who's on the door. And then you can ask them if they have money. And the thing is, they make you feel really guilty. If you don't give them money, they're like, por favor, deme dinero. Which translates to, please, give me food and money, I'm hungry. And you don't have anything. All you have is some week-year-old Takis that you didn't eat because you were scared they were too spicy. And so these people just ring the doorbell and ring and ring and ring and ring and ring and ring. And it's hella annoying. This lady once, by the way, we treat this lady with so much respect. We give her hand-me-downs. We give her pairs of shoes that we don't use anymore. We give her big care packages for Christmas. Like, we are really nice to this lady. And she has the audacity to ring our doorbell for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of just ringing and ringing. My mom went outside because she was so pissed at her, saying, "Hey, yo, can you stop ringing our doorbell? It's really annoying." Because the doorbell makes a really loud sound here. It's like a ding dong ding dong ding dong. And that happened for 5 minutes. And it was really early in the morning, and I didn't feel like dealing with it, so I yelled for my mom, and I was like, "You go yell at this lady, because I'm not going to yell at this lady." So she went to yell at this lady. She told her, "Hey, could you please not ring the doorbell 88 times before we come out? If you can ring once, and that's it." Something that I also noticed that's really different about my country than the US is the way that you get water. Because in the US, you can grab water from the sink, and you can eat, and you can drink it, and it's perfectly safe. But here, it's called tap water, right? I believe it's called tap water. But here, that's a big no-no. You can't just grab water from your sink. And you may ask, why can't you just grab water from your sink? And that is because the water from our sink is really filthy. It's dirty and it's nasty. Because here, the main way we get water is from the dam. Because the dam gives money. When it rains, the dam collects rain, and that rain gets filtered and it goes into our house. But it doesn't get filtered very well, so there's a lot of bacteria in it, so we can't just drink water from there. So we have to hire these third-party companies to deliver us a big jug of water every week or two. And this big jug of water usually has it has a decent amount of water. It's like the old days in the US, because I believe it also happened in Gilmore Girls. But yeah, it's just an old thing in general. But yeah, I mean, I am happy with it because we get clean water at least. I'm not complaining that we get clean water. I'm just saying it would be really cool if I could just go to my sink and serve myself a glass of water and my brother. And yeah, as I was saying, sorry for that interruption. That was my brother. So yeah, it's insane because I like my whole situation. I think I'm calm. But I'm looking at the timer right now and I realize that it's almost time to end the podcast. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you listen to it all the way through, I love you, and I want to see you on the next episode. Because come on, we're basically best friends already. And if you like this podcast and you want to see more of me, then follow the podcast Instagram at the teenager's mind _, and Twitter at it's teens mind, where we post on a regular basis. And anyways, yeah, we're available on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. So if you want to listen to the podcast, just go to your favorite streaming platform and chances are it's there. And thank you so much for watching. And yeah, anyways, I love you. And thank you for watching the episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.